So good morning. This is your gentle flow and kind of deep stretch class. So take it where you need it to be. If you need to go a little bit deeper, that's always okay. If you want to grab blocks, you could have a couple of blocks. Since you're probably at home, if you don't have blocks, grab a couple of things that you can use, like blocks. And that way, even if you're going kind of deeper into something in one area of your body, you might be supporting a different area on your support or your block. So we can kind of tailor what we need. When you're ready to lie down on your back, go ahead and bend your knees. And if you want to fire up your music, you can start it now. It's all good. But you'll bend your knees, kind of like you would for a bridge pose. We're not moving into bridge. But this is just how we're going to start out so that we can ground down and breathe. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Root your feet down into the ground. You could take one hand onto your low belly, one hand on your heart, or you could just spread your arms out wide with your palms face up. Take a moment, go ahead and close down your eyes. Relax your jaw. You can wiggle it from side to side if you would like to do that. And then allow for your entire face to just rest, to get soft, to relax, to release. And if you notice that your shoulders are lifting up towards your ears, kind of shortening your neck, slide your shoulders down and draw your shoulder blades slightly closer together underneath you. And then lengthen your spine, lengthen your tail. You might even take a slight tuck of your tailbone. So you really feel length all the way from the top of your thoracic spine into the bottom of your lumbar spine. So you're resting your bones on your mat. Take a deep breath in. And out. Breathe in. And out. One more just like that without any other movement. Inhale. And exhale. Nice, y'all. Now from here, you can keep your hands as they are. You can switch it up. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, let your knees drop over to the right. You can turn your face to the left if you like. Keep your shoulders softened from your ears. I'm reminding myself as much as I am you. Now on your inhale, bring your knees back through center. Let your low back come down to the earth. And on the exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. Now if you feel anything awkward in your low back, make sure you're drawing the pit of your belly in and up so that you're not arching in your lumbar spine. Start to feel the opening of your right side body. I even feel it on the top of my right hip. And then you inhale, just start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Exhale, drop them to the side. You can take your arms out at this point. Inhale through center. Exhale to drop your knees. And just move side to side for a moment, starting to feel your low back wake up, your hips, your inner thighs, a little bit of everything, right? And you're just breathing here, finding a fluid motion. But if you get to one side and you notice that it feels great, or like you need to stay, then honor that space, right? Be there. It's perfect. Just a couple more times, side to side. And then you'll gently come back into center. Extend your legs long. Reach your feet forward, your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms towards the back of your mat. Your low back kind of arches up and away from the mat. And then you release your hands and you start to roll out your wrists and your ankles. Go in both directions. Take another inhale. Now slide your feet over to the right corner of your mat. And then you might even have to kind of lift yourself so that you can slide your shoulders over as well. You're creating a crescent moon shape with your body. And you just start off like this, kind of thumb next to thumb, ankle next to ankle. Feel that deep stretch through the left side of your body. You might even notice kind of in the psoas, like you're going to let your left hip stay heavy. Now, if what you need truly is more sensation, it's early in your practice, so you might not. You would cross your left ankle over the right. Your right hand could catch your left wrist. But if that makes your shoulder and your hip roll up and over to the right, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not getting you what you need. So stay there. Breathe. And when you inhale, notice how your ribcage fans open. It kind of bows out. You might even notice those kind of sticky places in the intercostals. And on your exhale, you kind of just soften, release, relax. Take another inhale. Feel a little bit of tension, maybe even in your left side body as you stretch it a little bit more. And exhale. Now on your inhale, slowly release, unravel. You might bring your heels to the floor, lengthen your low back again, and then walk your feet over towards the left. I'm kicking the water. And then lift your shoulders and slide your upper back towards the left. Now I start off kind of thumb next to thumb, ankle next to ankle, heel next to heel. Because even, like this feels pretty intense this early. And only when I'm ready, cross the right ankle over the left. And some days I'm not. I just don't do it at all. And then maybe your left hand finds your right wrist. But your right shoulder and your right hip stay down. Take a deep inhale. Feel your right side body fan open. It stretches. And you exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release. On your inhale, unravel, come back through center. Reach with your fingertips, reach with your toes. And then on your exhale, hug both knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Your ankles are next to one another. You can start to kind of rock side to side. I like how this, as I move side to side, I feel a little massage on the low back. And then you start to turn your face in the opposite direction from your knees. And you just keep breathing, right? And then come back into center. Let your big toes stay touching. Bring your hands to your kneecaps. Relax your shoulders again. Now as you inhale, open up your knees and draw circles on the ceiling. And as you exhale, draw them back through center. Inhale to open. Exhale, draw your knees back in. Inhale. And exhale. Now the next time you come back through center, switch up the direction of your circle. So you're moving the ball and socket joint of your hip in the opposite way. So not only is this letting your hips know that you are going to start moving, right? Signaling for lubrication of your joints. It's also getting some release in your low back before we start to move. And then come right back into center. Drop your left foot down to the ground. Your knee is bent. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders back and down. Take an inhale. On the exhale, press your right foot up into the sky. You're going to flex your foot. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. You're more than welcome to use like a towel or a strap or something around your right foot, or just stay right here with your fingers interlaced around your hamstring. Maybe you slide your hands up your calf and draw your right leg in. Relax your shoulders. Good. Now, sometimes the left knee starts to kind of splay out. Normally, I would be like, really pay attention and try to keep your knee straight. But maybe today it's happening because you need to stretch your inner thigh or your groin, and so it's okay. Take one more inhale right here. Now, on your exhale, bend your right knee and come into a half happy baby. Now, here, if your left hip lifts up, I want you to press your left hip back down. Good, y'all. Just breathe here. Flex your right foot up towards the sky. Keep your low back flat. Now, you might have seen, we've done this actually what we're going to do here, this opening sequence. We've done it before a couple of times. It's been a while. This is actually something I learned from Stephanie Tovar once with a block underneath the low back. We're not going to use the block today, right? Just to get into the groin, the hips, the inner thigh, the outer thigh, a little bit of everything. So take one more inhale right here. And then as you exhale, cross your right ankle over your left knee, your left thigh. Flex your right foot and let your right knee just kind of press away from you. Pull your low belly in and up. Good. Now you can stay right here if this is what feels right to you. Or take an inhale. On the exhale, hug your left knee, your left thigh in towards your chest. It's early, and this is a supine pigeon, right? So maybe today the figure 4 is where you stay. Otherwise, you can come here. Breathe. Relax your jaw, your brows, your shoulders. Take one more inhale right here. And then you'll release your left thigh, but cross your right leg over the left. Now flex your feet. Keep your low back flat. Your hands can come to your knees, your shins, your ankles. And then just gently draw your thighs in towards your chest. Good. Relax your face. Treating your legs kind of like handlebars. So my left hand is on my right ankle. My right hand is on the left ankle, but it could be the shin, the knee, it doesn't matter. Take one more inhale. Slowly release. Let your left foot come back down to the ground. Open your arms to a T. You still have your right ankle crossed over your left knee. And on your exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right for a figure 4 twist. Relax your shoulders from your ears again. And then on your inhale, maybe you kind of press down into your left palm, bring your knees back through center. And on the exhale, drop your right foot down. Take your feet about mat's width distance apart. Deep breath in. And then drop your knees in towards one another for a collapsed bridge as you breathe out. Good, y'all. Maybe you windshield wiper your knees side to side for just a moment. It's brief this time. Come back into center. Your right knee stays down, but you hug your left knee in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders. Take an inhale. I'm kind of rolling out my left ankle. It feels a little tight today. And then press your left foot into the sky as you exhale. Flex your left foot. Interlace your fingers around your hamstring and draw your thigh in towards your chest. Perfect. I have my low belly drawn in and up to kind of support my lumbar spine. You can leave your hands here. You could slide them up towards your calf, your heel. Draw your left leg in a little bit closer. You could also loop something around your left foot if that feels more supportive. It's okay if the right knee splays out a little bit here today. Find your inner groin, your inner thigh. But when we move into our half happy baby, Your right knee comes back straight to the sky and your foot stays flat. So take one more inhale here. Maybe your peace fingers come to your left big toe or your hand comes back to your left thigh. On the exhale, bend your left knee. Draw your knee towards your left underarm. And keep your low back flat, your right hip flat. Good. Now flex your left foot towards the sky. Breathe. We're going to get a little bit more movement here in a moment, but let's just open up and take our time today. Yeah. Awesome. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Let your left knee split open and you kind of flex your left foot. Breathe here. You could also stay right here. Or you take an inhale. And on the exhale, bring your right thigh in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers. And again, even though we've done the first side, this is the first time on the left side. So it's okay if it feels a little tight, right? Just breathe into those spaces. Try to keep your low back flat, your eyes relaxed. Take one more inhale, then it's a soft kind of release of your right thigh so that you can cross your left leg completely over the right as you exhale. Now your hands are going to find opposite knee, shin, or ankle. Keep flexing your feet and draw your thighs in towards your chest. So you're feeling this in the outer hip on the left side. You might be feeling it on the right side too, but really working the left leg. And if your tail starts to really lift up, just release and move your hands higher up your legs so that you can really get your low back stay flat. Awesome. Take one more inhale. And then it's a soft release as you exhale. Let your right foot come back down to the ground. So you're back into that figure four. Open your arms out to a T as you inhale. And then drop your knees to the right and turn your face to the left as you exhale. Good. You can keep kind of pointing your knee up towards the sky. You can draw it in towards your chest. You can also kind of play around with that and see the different sensations it creates in your body and where you feel what you're doing. Now your arms come out like a T. You could press your right palm down. To inhale, lift your knees back up through center. On the exhale, drop your left foot down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees hang comfortably open as your heels come in towards your sits bones. Supta Baddha Konasana, your supine butterfly pose. Allow for everything to just kind of open back up after squeezing your inner thighs towards one another. Good, y'all. One more inhale here. Now you might use your hands to lift your knees up as you exhale. If you need to, windshield wiper your knees again. Feel free to do that. And the next time they come through center, draw your knees in towards your chest. Slide your hands behind your thighs. Taking your spinal rocks and rolls forward and backward. They can be as big or as small as you want them to be. We're going to move through about 3 of them. And then on the last one, come forward and find your box pose. So all fours. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Your knees come underneath your hips. Spread your fingers out wide. I'm going to grab my little blanket to come underneath my knees for a moment. All right. Press down into the webbing between the thumb and your forefinger. And then on your inhale, let a soft belly drop down towards the earth. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then as you exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Really feel your vertebra kind of reaching through that C curve and separate out. And then on your inhale, press your heart between your upper arm bones. There's a sway to your low back. The eyes of your elbows forward if it's available, but don't force it. And then exhale, separate your shoulder blades, navel to your spine, and let your head hang down. Good. Last round, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. On your inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Take a deep breath in when you're ready. Now as you exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your mat. All 5 toes point towards the top of your mat. As you inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. So this is your gate pose. Now as you exhale, drop your right hand down to the outside of your right knee, your right shin, and lift your left arm up and over. So stretching through your left side body. When you inhale, reach your arms back to the sky. As you exhale, bring your left hand down and reach your right arm up and over. Now your left hand can come to a block or it can come to the ground. Keep pressing actively into the outer edge of your right foot. You're blowing out through the right side of your body. Maybe your gaze goes up underneath your right tricep. Completely exhale. And then as you inhale, shoulders back over your hips, arms up over your head. Now on your exhale, hinge at your hips, walk your hands forward, and drape your forehead, your chest down. Now try to keep your left hip over your thigh, over your knee. Your right toes point forward. And depending on how you feel this morning, either your forehead comes down to the ground or your chin and you gaze forward. And you breathe, whatever feels best. One more inhale, and then slowly slide your hands back underneath your shoulders as you exhale. Now on the inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. As you exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Maybe it finds your right big toe. Come down to your left shoulder, your temple, your ear. Reach your right arm forward if it feels good, or wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind. But allow for your right shoulder to lengthen away from your ear so the side of your neck stays long. Maybe you gaze up towards the ceiling. One more inhale, reach your right arm back up and drop it down in front of your face as you exhale. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. On the exhale, bring your left hand down. Shift your hips back. Reach your arms forward. Your right leg is still extended out to the right, so you're in a funky child's pose. Breathe. Let your forehead come down. If you have a block or something, you can place it underneath the forehead. Feel your inner thigh on the right side. Get some attention, right? Relax your shoulders from your ears. Take a deep inhale. And then slowly press yourself back up as you exhale. And just bring your right knee back in towards your box pose. Now maybe you take some hip circles here. Kind of move through all of that. And then come right back to center. Step your left leg out to the side body. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, drop your left hand down and reach your right arm up and over. So now you're stretching through the right side of your body. Feel all of that fibrous tissue, right? And then you inhale, both arms high. As you exhale, drop your right hand down and reach your left arm up and over. Press down actively into the outer edge of your left foot. So if you feel it starting to lift, really reach it back down so that you're creating this long, strong diagonal line from your left fingertips to the outer edge of your left foot. And then as you inhale, come right back to center, arms high. And on the exhale, drop your hands down and walk them out. Bring your forehead, your chest to the ground. Keep your hips up over your right knee. Maybe your chin, and you gaze forward. Take one more inhale. And then slide your hands back underneath your shoulders as you exhale. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And then on your exhale, thread the needle, your right arm underneath the left. Take your right fingertips towards your left big toe. It doesn't matter if they actually get there. And then drop your right shoulder, your right ear, your right temple down. You can take your left arm forward. Wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind, or just leave it where it was, right? It's all good. Breathe, and maybe your gaze goes to the ceiling, or maybe your gaze is to the left side of your mat. Take one more inhale, release your left arm back up. And then drop your left hand down as you exhale. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky. On the exhale, drop your right hand down, shift your hips back, and find your funky child's pose. Your left leg stays long. Reach your arms forward, drop your forehead down. Breathe. Now, if this doesn't feel great, then just bring your left knee in and take a traditional child's pose. It's all good, y'all. Doesn't have to be perfect. On your inhale, slide your hands back, lift yourself back up to your kind of box pose, and then exhale, bring your left knee back in. Feel free to go cat and cow if you need that, or if you would like to roll out hip circles, kind of barrel rolls, whatever you need. We're going to meet in downward facing dog when you're ready, so take an inhale, curl up your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog as you exhale. Let your heels feel heavy. Chest in towards your thighs, and the crown of your head is just hanging down. Now from here, if you're really trying to get your tailbone to lift to the sky, you roll to the balls of your feet. Take a bend in your knees so that your chest gets towards your thigh bones, and then lift your tailbone, right? Creating that true inverted letter V shape with your body. Now take a deep inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, and then as many steps as you need to get your feet to your hands as you exhale. On your inhale, take a halfway lift, the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back, your neck is long. And then exhale, take your chest to your thighs, grab opposite elbows, let your head hang down, press equally into both feet. I've been saying the last few weeks, so before we kind of stretch into the legs a little bit more, we're going to warm up the bottom half of the body, right? So come back to center, let your hands come down to the ground, and then stick your bottom back. And then on your inhale, lift your chest, lift your shoulders over your hips. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your thighs. Roll your shoulders back and down. So you're kind of in a squat position, right? Take a deep breath in. And then exhale it all out. Inhale. Now on the exhale, empty it all out and then pull your belly in and up. One more time, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Empty your belly, pull it all in and up. Take an inhale. On the exhale, sit your bottom back and down a little bit more and bring your forearms towards your thighs. Now, I have my feet about max width distance apart. Stick your tail back. And then zip your low belly in and up so your spine is long. Good. Now you could have hands down on blocks if that feels more appropriate in your body today. Excellent. So bring your hands to heart center if you're there. Pull your belly in and up. Take an inhale. Stick your bottom back and down. Bend into your knees. And then lift a little bit more as you exhale. And on the inhale, bend and stick your bottom back. And as you exhale, press down into your feet and lift. You've got 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, I want you to hold it. Maybe you take your arms out. Maybe you reach your arms forward, right? If you feel anything off in the low back, you can just skip it, right? Perfect. Take one more inhale. Bring your hands down to the ground and straighten your legs forward, fold as you exhale. Let the crown of your head hang down. Heel to your feet together. So there's a sliver of space between your heel, but your big toe ball mounds are kind of slightly touching. Now on your inhale, take a halfway lift. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. And soften your left knee to the earth. All right, so from here, inhale. Pull your heart forward. Feel the stretch on the front side of your left hip now that you're down on the back knee. On your exhale, shift your hips back. Take one quick half split. Straighten your right leg and flex your right toes back towards your shin. Good. And maybe you take your foot down, kind of pointing all 5 toes down towards the ground. You inhale to lift. Exhale, take your toes to the ground. Inhale to lift. And exhale, take all 5 toes to the ground. Good, y'all. Now on your inhale, walk yourself back forward. Bend your right knee. Zip your inner thighs towards one another for support stability. And bring your shoulders up over your hips and your arms up over your head. Now you've got to zip in towards the low part of your belly. So you're supporting your lumbar spine here, right? It's easy to kind of overarch. And then press down into all 4 corners of your right foot, as well as what we call like the 6th toe, which is on the outside of your right foot. Root all of that down so you're strong here, right? And then as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. If it's available, seal your palms and drop your thumbs to the nape of your neck as you exhale, pointing your elbows up. Now zip your low belly in and up, lift your chest slightly. Good. And stay for your exhale. Lift a little bit more as you inhale. Stay for your exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Frame your front foot. On the inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Your gaze could follow your right thumb. You're more than welcome to stay right here. If you just need the extra, you can bend your left knee. It's not even necessary to take the hand to the ankle. All you have to really do is lift the left heel towards your glute to get the quad stretch, right? But if it happens to be there and you reach the right arm back and it catches the left ankle, okay. If that makes your knees splay out and go all open, maybe you don't do that today, right? Breathe. Take Take one more inhale. Slow release of your left foot down to the ground. Frame your front foot with your right hand as you exhale. Now curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. This is your inhale. Now straighten your right leg for a pyramid pose as you exhale. So you're pulling your right hip back, your left hip forward. Press down into the big toe ball mound of your right foot. And the more you slide your navel towards the right thigh bone, the easier it is, the more natural your right hip will just draw back and your left hip forward. Now you can have blocks on either side of your right leg, right? You'll notice that it probably helps your alignment, right? Because you're not kind of hanging and sagging into your joints and your ligaments anymore. You're actually stacking, right? And lengthening. So there you go. Now, take an inhale. On the exhale, walk your left hand over towards the right hand. So getting into your right side of IT band. If this is something that's available to you, we haven't done a whole lot of this work today, but if it's available to roll to the outer edges of both feet, turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat, and walk your hands over, feel free to do that, right? It's going to be a lot deeper. You're going to feel a lot more sensation. But breathe. Now take a deep breath wherever you are. On your exhale, unravel, unwind, spin to the opposite long edge of your mat. Turn your toes either parallel or slightly pigeon-toed, and drape your chest down, forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Let the crown of your head reach towards the earth. Let your shoulders slide away from your ears. You'll be able to turn your face side to side and nothing would happen. And then as you inhale, take a halfway lift. And on the exhale, flip back over your front foot. You're facing the top of your mat. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Take your time. Exhale, step your left foot to meet the right. You're at the top of your mat. Your hands can be on blocks. Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. And soften your right knee down. Your left knee's tracking the heel or the ankle. The pit of your belly pulls in and up. Roll your shoulders back. Your inhale kind of pulls your heart forward and stretches into the front side of your right hip. Stay there for a moment, kind of let everything kind of warm up, yeah? And then you take one more inhale. Shift yourself back, straighten your left leg and flex your toes back towards your shin as you exhale. Good. Now take an inhale. You can stay right here and skip this. Or on the exhale, drop your left toes down to the ground. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Good, y'all. On your inhale, lift your left toes. Walk yourself back forward. Stay here as you exhale. Now zip your inner thighs towards one another, even though they're not touching. And then you inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for your exhale. Let your shoulders soften back and down. You guys know this doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest, right? Lengthen your low back by taking the top of your pubic bone up if that's truly what you need. Take an inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, maybe your hands seal together and you drop your thumbs back to the nape of your neck. Now you've got to support your low back before you start to lift and arch your upper back, right? So inhale, lift. Feel your navel pull up and away from your pubic bone, your sternum up and away from your navel. And then you slowly start to arch your upper back over an imaginary beach ball. You might even feel like your elbows are lifting with you. But if you feel anything at all in your low back, you're probably not really zipping your low belly up. You should feel nothing in the low back. Staying for one more round of breath. You might even press your hips slightly forward. You inhale to lengthen, to lift, to round. Stay for your exhale. Awesome. On your inhale, slowly stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach your arms up over your head. And then exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Now your right hand stays down. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. Your drishti, your gaze, traditionally follows your left hand, right? And then watch your right shoulder. If it starts to roll forward, roll it back. And then maybe you bend your right knee if you really need it and bring your heel towards your glute. But you don't have to, y'all, right? It's extra. And maybe you take your left hand back towards your right ankle. You can stop anywhere in between. And breathe. Do one more inhale. So soft release. Your right foot drops down. Your left hand to the ground as you exhale. Now inhale, curl up your right toes. Lift your right knee. Exhale to your pyramid pose. You can bump your right foot forward slightly if you need to. You can also have blocks on either side of your left leg. Now think more instead of nose to knee, like the hairline moving towards your left toes. So your spine is long. So instead of coming here and rounding, you stay long and lower, right? Press down into the big toe ball mound of your left foot. Draw your navel in and up. Good, y'all. Now take an inhale. You could just stay right here. If you want to go there, maybe you drop your right hand to the outside of your left foot as you exhale. You could even roll to the outer edge of both feet. All 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Hands down, shoulders back. It's a lot. Let your head hang down. And if you started to grit your teeth, release them. Soften your face. Right? Grimacing isn't going to make it feel or be better or easier, right? Take another deep inhale. And then you unravel, spin to the right. All 10 toes to the long edge of your mat as you exhale. Take an inhale. Go ahead and lengthen your spine, and then exhale. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and really drape yourself down. So your toes are either parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. You don't want your toes turning out here. When you breathe, let your head hang down. And slowly walk your hands back out underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale for a halfway lift. And on the exhale, you just spin over your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, step your right foot to meet the left. Forward fold at the top of the mat. On your inhale, take a halfway lift. And as you exhale, melt yourself down again. This time on your inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then on your exhale, take your elbows back and down. Lift your chest. Good. And then you inhale, reach your arms high. And exhale, fold yourself down. On your inhale, take a halfway lift. On the exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Step your feet back. Soften your knees to the earth. Point your elbows back. Take an inhale here. Shift forward. And then as you exhale, come all the way down to your belly. All right, y'all. So from here, let your forehead come down. And then take your hands outside of your mat and come onto what we call like crow fingers. So like your palm is lifted, but your finger petals are down. And then your elbows kind of point up. Bring your toenails down, your pubic bone down. And then on your inhale, it's like a wide cobra. Lift your chest. And then as you exhale, come down. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. And exhale, come down. Changing it up on this last one. Inhale, lift your chest. And on the exhale, drop your right shoulder down and gaze to the left. Good, y'all. And then inhale back to center. Exhale your left shoulder down, gaze right. Inhale to center. Exhale, come all the way back down. Forehead down, chest down. Bring your arms down by the side body. You can turn your face to the left or to the right. Relax here for a moment. And when you're ready, take your opposite ear down to the mat. And when you inhale, come right back to center. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Pull your heart forward to lift it. And then as you exhale, bring your hips back towards your heels for your child's pose. Your forehead is down. You can either keep your arms reaching forward or you can take them back towards your heels, right? Wrapping your arms around. You can roll your forehead side to side if you'd like. On your inhale, press yourself up into your box pose. And then as you exhale, let's do it from downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back, press your chest towards your thighs, let your head hang down. And on your inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist, slide your left leg back, and come into your half pigeon. Your right shin is up to parallel with the top of your mat, but if something feels off in your knee, bring your heel in closer towards your pelvis or take a slight flex to your foot. Now let your left hip drop down. If your right hip is lifted off of the ground a lot, you could slide a block or a bolster or anything like that underneath it. So do what you need to do. On your inhale, lift your chest and pull it forward. And as you exhale, drape yourself down. Take your forehead down. Your arms can either reach forward or back or out to the side, whatever you need. All right, y'all, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, if you want to skip this next part and stay right where you are, do that. You're going to roll slightly over to the right, and then bring your left shin on top of your right shin. So this is double pigeon. So I'm going to face forward so that you can see what my ankles and my knees are doing. A lot of times people will do this, which I mean, it's fine, right? But if you're going into your double pigeon, ideally the ankles kind of hang off of the knees. So if you're feeling tight or you're like, oh my gosh, my left knee is like way up into my face, my chest, it's all good. Take a block and slide it underneath there so you get some support, right? All good. Find what works for you. And breathe. So there's an external rotation happening in both of your hips, your thigh bones, right? So I feel this in both hips, on both sides. You can stay right here. You can bring your hands behind you, lift your chest as you inhale. or you could walk yourself forward on an exhale. You do you. If you get into something and it feels like it's too much, then just slowly back out of it. But if you get into it and you're like, oh yeah, that's it, then you stay, right? You stay and you breathe into it for a little while. Just a couple more breaths here. Another inhale. If you folded forward, slowly lift yourself up. Bring your hands behind your hips so that you can rock back. Unravel your legs, bring your feet down about hip-width distance apart, and then windshield wiper out your knees. And then from here, cross your feet at the ankles. Bring your hands to the ground, lift your hips back up again, step it back, downward facing dog, so that you get that full release throughout the back side of your legs. And then on your inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your left knee to your left wrist, slide your right leg back. You can take this down on your back like what we did at the beginning of practice if you choose. Anything in between, right? Find what you need. Once you're there, your right hip kind of drops down. Lift your chest and pull your heart forward. That's your inhale. And then melt yourself down over your left leg as you exhale. I bring my arms back only because it intensifies the opening or the sensation on my left hip because my weight is heavier. So kind of play around with the arms and find something that works. Got about 5 more breaths here. All right, y'all, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. On your inhale, lift your chest, kind of roll over to the left and bring your right leg around and stack your right shin on top of the left. If this isn't for you, you can always just skip it, right? Or you could cross the right leg in front of the left, right? If the stacking isn't going to happen, then drop it in front, right? It's all good. Flex your right foot. Let your ankles hang over, kind of outside of the knees. You can stay just like this. You could bring your hands back, lift your chest. Or on an exhale, you can walk it forward. Drape your chest over your thighs. And breathe. Slowly walk your hands back if you folded forward. Lift your shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands back behind you so you can unravel, bring your feet to the ground, and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Awesome, y'all. Now extend both legs long. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold over your legs, Paschimottanasana, your seated deep forward fold. Elongate your spine. Pull your heart towards your feet. Take one more deep breath in. Let it all go as you breathe out. And roll yourself back up. Take your arms out to the side body and roll yourself down one vertebra at a time until you're flat on your back. On your inhale, reach your arms above overhead, find a full body stretch. On the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, relax your shoulders back and down, and then drop your feet down to the ground. Take your knees out to the side edges of your mat, the soles of your feet together. You're in Supta Baddha Konasana. You're let your hands come down next to your legs, palms face down. So your supine butterfly pose. And on your inhale, lift your hips up. So it's a butterfly-like bridge. It's a cobbler's bridge. Breathe. If you're not here for long, just enough to kind of get that last bit of movement through the spine, through the hips. Take one more inhale. Soften yourself down as you exhale. Give yourself a moment. Let your fingertips come down to the outer thighs. Take an inhale and then gently draw your knees together like the pages of a book as you exhale. Take a deep breath in. Hug your knees in towards your chest as you breathe out. Relax your shoulders back and down. Maybe you bring your forehead up to your knees. Good. Take one more inhale. Let your head and shoulders come back down and press your feet to the sky as you exhale for a waterfall, legs up the wall pose. If there's anything else you need to do in your own personal practice to counter out anything we've done, if you need another twist, anything like that, you know, feel free to drop your knees to one side and then the other. Find the space that resonates with you in this practice, right? And we'll all take an inhale. Feel free to stay closing down if you are still on something else. Hug your knees in one more time as you exhale. Bring your forehead up to your knees. Full wind removing pose. Take an inhale. And allow for your feet to extend forward and hang comfortably open. Your arms out to the side, body palms face up as you exhale. Now something else would feel better with your legs for your Shavasana. You could always take a different leg variation. Maybe the same way we started class, or maybe a collapsed bridge. Close down your eyes. Relax your face. And rest. What you need is to be here longer. You're going to tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. To wiggle your fingers and your toes. On the inhale, bring your arms up overhead and find your full body stretch. And as you exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And then gently rock over to the right or roll up to your comfortable, easy sit, just right where you are. Shoulders back and down, spine long. Let your hands rest in your lap. Take that final moment to be grateful for the fact that you showed up to your practice today. To take care of your body, to take care of your mind, to take care of it all together at once, right? So thank you all for sharing in this practice with me. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.